there is a limit to my transparency, right? Because at the end of the day, I am still a mother. 10 years from now, when she sees these videos, I want my child to be proud of me. I don't want my child to be embarrassed of any type of content that would not be appropriate for me to share. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, your favorite place for hauls, home decor, and all things homemaking. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. And for those of you returning, we appreciate your support. This week's video, I wanted you guys to get to know me better. I specifically reached out to quite a few of you guys and just asked you to share 1 or 2 questions that you would like to know about myself or Peyton. So I got so many questions that this is probably going to be a 2, possibly 3-part series. So I appreciate your support. I appreciate it for those of you that responded, and for any of you guys that feel like you have some questions that weren't answered and you're curious to find out about myself or Peyton, please be sure to comment below and I'll be sure to respond to those in the upcoming episodes. But without further ado, if you want to find out some of the questions that our folks have for us, stay tuned. So the first couple of questions are pretty basic, but I think they're important because I know a lot of people may not know this about me. So I appreciate you. First one is Akila Christine. She asked me 4 awesome questions that I'm just going to give right in order because it's definitely some great get to know me questions. So the first one is, how old are you? So I am 38 years old. I am an 80s baby, and she asks where I am from. Now, so just a little background, my family is originally from Trinidad and Tobago. I was born in Brooklyn, and I moved to Long Island when I was about 12 years old, and I lived there until I went to college, and I went to college in Atlanta. I lived here for 4 years, and then I moved right back to Long Island literally the day after I graduated, and I lived there until about 2019, which I decided to move back here because I wanted to raise my daughter here. So we've been here for just a little over 2 years. The next question from Akila Christine is, what do you do for work? So my job is a little complicated and maybe to some boring, but I love it. I'm a sales enablement manager for a company called Digital Realty, and my specific role is I help to create tools and resources to make the sales folks' job easier. In addition, I manage the intranet site. There are 3 different sites that I manage, and also I help to trickle down communications that come from the executive leadership team or other supporting teams. I am constantly considering when it's appropriate to relay that information, how that information is going to be communicated, and then how it impacts their job, because these type of communications that come up from the top down, we want to make sure that they understand how that impacts their role and what immediate changes they need to make in their day-to-day role in order to align to those particular policy or process changes. So my job as a sales enablement manager is to enable sales by making their job a little bit easier. M. Darden 7 asked quite a few good questions here. She asks, what does PL, or my daughter's name is Peyton. You'll often hear me refer to her as PL because her name is Peyton Lydia. So what does Peyton do for fun? Peyton loves to ride her bike. She loves to go on her scooter. She loves to go to museums. She loves to go to the park. She loves to have fun time with mommy. She loves to do lots of different things, which I'll share because that's one of the questions, but she definitely loves to have one-on-one time with me because that's something that I'm challenged with giving her on a regular basis, where it's like absolute uninterrupted time, meaning no electronics. So we really enjoy that time together because we don't get it often because I do wear so many different hats. What are some mommy and me activities that you do with Peyton? This is also from M. Darden 7. We do lots of different things. I would say the #1 thing that Peyton loves to do with me is to cook. She loves to get into the kitchen and create things with mommy. She loves to be able to say that she played a role in this end product, no matter what it is. It could be something as simple as a smoothie, or sometimes we go in. Sometimes I have her help me make like tacos, and we're making all the different layers to what we're going to include on those nachos or those tacos. We're making it together, and she loves to be a part of that process. So I would say that's like the number one thing she loves to do. She loves to, when we do her hair, actually, she loves to get her hair done. I'm the one that does her hair. She's never gotten it professionally done, but she does enjoy being able to take that time because she gets to watch movies and we talk about the movies, we talk about the characters. She loves to tell me, you know, certain things. She loves to compare to life experiences, which I encourage her to do. You know, I'm always trying to find a learning opportunity. So I'm always like, well, that girl seems really sad. Have you ever felt like that? Has something like that ever happened to you? And then that gives her an opportunity to share experiences she's had at school. So she loves to, when I do her hair, she and I love to go on walks together. We get our mommy time. We get to chat it up. We get to talk about her favorite things in school, the people she doesn't get along with in school, and we talk about how we can overcome those type of experiences and how it's okay if you don't get along with people. And again, learning experiences through life, right? Through real life situations. She loves to go shopping with me, so that's another fun activity that we love to do. Jess_living_life3, life with a Y, L-Y-F. She is also another amazing YouTuber that you guys should definitely be following. She says, what plans or trips do you have in the works for Peyton this summer? So, for those of you that have been following us for a long time, you know that Peyton goes to New York for the summer every single summer. This would be her third summer that she'll be going to New York. However, we're not going to be going for like another 2 weeks. So in this 2 weeks, I am going to be, she still continues to homeschool. So Peyton and I homeschool her anytime she's out of school. She's still learning. Now, learning can be formal, where we're sitting at a table and she's going through, like I'm actually teaching her something new, or we might be doing some sort of review. Learning might also be in a formalized way where she's doing independent work, where I have some workbooks for her and she's gonna do some reading, she's gonna do writing, she's gonna do comprehension, she'll do independent reading, things like that. Learning can also be her and I going to the botanical gardens. And then we're looking at specific flowers and we're talking about the types of flowers and the seasons that they grow and things like that. Or we might go to the zoo. We're having conversations on the different types of animals and things like that. So with that being said, before she goes to New York, my goal is to get her to the botanical gardens. Also, we want to get her to the zoo. Once she's in New York, she is already set up to go to a sports camp and she's super excited about it. She went to it 2 years ago. Obviously, she did not go last year because of the pandemic, but this year it is open, it is back, and I'm really excited because she loves it. In this sports camp, what I love about it is they tap into all different types of sports. So she's going to play hockey and basketball and swimming. I think they even do ice skating too. They do kickball, all different types. I think, I don't know if I mentioned soccer as well, but they kind of tap into all these different types of sports, which I think is really great because then you can kind of get an idea of what they like to do and what they don't like to do, and she has a lot of fun. In addition, my mother has a full calendar of all these things she's going to be doing with her other retired friends and my daughter, where they'll go like do jewelry making, or they'll go to museums, they'll go to the aquarium, to the zoo, they'll go for walks on the trail. Peyton loves to do that with her grandmother as well. She'll be going to all different types of parks. There are at least 4 to 7 parks within a 2 to 3 mile radius from my mom's house. DMarie_channel says, how are you managing to stay sane, finding time for things you like with being a mom and still new to Georgia? So that is a very good question, because I came to Georgia and then just getting myself acclimated, I had to quickly, I came to live in one place and then I had to abruptly move to another place, and then getting myself acclimated with that and getting Peyton acclimated with school and finding a church and just things like that. By the time we really got ourselves on some sort of routine, which took about a year, then the pandemic happened. And then, of course, we weren't going a lot of places, right? We were limited to the places that we could go. So we lost a whole year there. And then now as it's starting to open back up, we're venturing out. I will say that it's challenging for me because even pre-pandemic, I work from home. So I don't have the opportunity to be able to say, oh, well, I've met friends at work and things like that. And then with Peyton did make friends at a specific school, but then we moved to another school because she was done with with kindergarten and preschool and kindergarten, and then she moved into public school. So it's different sets of parents, and I never met any of the parents because that was during the pandemic. So that was challenging, and still is, right? Because I'm still trying to get my bearings on getting play dates in and things like that with her new friends. And luckily she's still in touch with some of her old friends, but again, she hasn't seen some of them in over a year. So now that the world is starting to open back up, I am starting to kind of venture out and do more things now. To answer your question, it's been challenging for me too, because she did mention it's really challenging for her. She's been here for 3 years, and it's same, sis, same. Sugar and Swag Life asks, share your perfect mother-daughter day. Now, this is funny that she's asking this question because we recently partnered with a company called Urban Eden. I'm creating some content for them, which is a mother-daughter day, and we had such an amazing time. We did a spa day where she was able to help give mommy a facial. I gave her a facial. We went for a beautiful walk on one of the trails near here. We had a little tea time, which she absolutely loves. Peyton loves tea time. Like, that is like, I should have mentioned that before too. Like, that's like one of her things. She loves to do the little like tea time with the snacks and everything like that. So I set up a nice board for her, and then we just got to talk. That is Peyton's favorite thing. Her favorite type of mommy and me time is playing a game, going for a walk, something like that where we get to talk. This _ housewife asks, do you want more kids? So I'm open to it. I mean, I'm getting older though. I'm 38. Mother's getting older, but you know, I'm very blessed with my one child. If I never have another child, I would be absolutely fine with that. I'm so grateful for her. She has absolutely changed my life. There is no blessing like the blessing of a child. So if this is the only child I have, you know, I pray that if I am doing even better financially in the future, I would be open to doing foster care, because I really do love children. That would be something that I would be open to, being able to give, you know, children who are in a unsafe environment, a safe environment to be in. I would be honored to be able to offer them that experience. Ali Score 15 says, how do you approach body image conversations with your daughter? This is good. I have battled with weight for my entire life. To date, I still battle with weight. I knew that when I was having a daughter that I had to be very deliberate about the conversations that I had with her, making sure that I'm constantly pouring into her how beautiful she is, especially knowing that I am raising a black girl that's growing up to be a black woman. And it is so important to instill love, confidence, and a sense of security in a black woman, because you know the quote is, the most hated person in America is a black woman. So I have an extremely critical responsibility to continue to pour into my daughter how absolutely great she is, how much potential she has, and whatever it is she wants to be. Right now she says she wants to be an artist. No problem. If you are going to be an artist, mommy is here to pour into you and be your biggest cheerleader so that you can be the best artist that you know how to be. Not the best artist and better than anyone else in the world, because I'm raising my child to make sure she's not in competition with anyone else. She's in competition with the last version of herself. And so when it comes to body image, I make sure that I tell my daughter that it's not about watching your weight. That's not something you need to think about as a child. As a child, we're thinking about making the best choices we can and enjoying food in a healthy way. Your body is your body, and you love yourself for who you are, which is something that took me a very long time to come to that place of really loving myself, flaws and all. And just because I choose in the future or in the past to have any type of procedures on myself does not mean that I love myself any less. And it doesn't mean that I don't love myself currently as who I am, but this is something that I want to change about myself, and that is that. So for me, it's important that Peyton understands the importance of loving who you are, making the best choices that you can for eating and having a healthy relationship with food, and recognizing that God makes people in all different shapes and sizes, and we should love them all just the same. Beyond Essentials asked a similar question. What do you want to instill to Peyton growing up? So for me, from the time she was born, I instill manners. Manners is number one. Manners is more important than math or reading, because at the end of the day, you will not be able to have sustainable relationships with people, professional or personal, if you do not know how to have manners. That's basic. Compassion. I'm looking to build my child to have compassion, understanding the importance of listening to others, understanding the importance of having empathy for others, understanding the importance of loving or not liking someone because of character and value. Not because of gender, not because of color of their skin, and not because of them having more or less than you. Not being envious. There is nothing to envy. My mother used to always say, never throw green eyes on people, because you never know what they had to do to get what they have. Whatever you see someone else has, you should never be jealous. Instead, refocus that energy into being grateful for what you do have, because you never know what's happening behind closed doors with that particular person or that particular family. Instead, continue to be grateful to God for the things that He has given you. And anything that you don't have, in time, if God wants you to have it, you will have it. Those are the things that I instill in my daughter. The last question is from _shine_like_crystal. She says, have you given thought to how you are going to continue to challenge Peyton in her learning? Are you worried about a plateau? So I'm assuming she's referring to, and I'll be sure to link it here, Peyton was skipped this year. She is currently entering the 2nd grade, but she is reading on a 3rd grade level. We are trying to push the rigor to get her to comprehend on a 3rd grade level, which is always challenging when you have a child who's only 6, but she's reading on an advanced level. What becomes challenging is making sure that the content is appropriate, because she may not comprehend it. So that's where we are right now. There is that gap that I'm working on filling, because she is on that 3rd grade level, and she's only going to continue as she reads more and more and more. I'm trying to fill that gap of the comprehension. So that's where we are right now. I think there will be a point where she'll get too advanced for me to teach her, because I know that I am not strong. My strong suits are not social studies and science, it's reading and math. So there'll come to a point where I may have to bring in a tutor to intervene, because I know as she starts to get more and more advanced, which isn't going to happen right now, but as she starts to get more and more advanced, I would be doing her a disservice to say I'm going to be the only one that's going to give her any of the additional services that she may need. So I'm open to that. I'm open to that. But for now, we're having fun. I have my certification. For those of you that don't know, I have my master's in elementary ed, grades 1 through 6. So we have a ways to go. I'm still trucking along real strong and confident. If it gets to be too challenging, then you bring in someone else. I mean, I'm open to that, because as long as Peyton enjoys learning, I am going to push the rigor. And that's it, guys. I appreciate you guys for staying with us until the end. Comment below if there's something new that you learned about me that you did not know. I am more than happy to share and answer any other questions, as long as they are appropriate, because there were some questions that were shared that do not align with my brand. So I will be completely transparent that there is a limit to my transparency, right? Because at the end of the day, I am still a mother. And 10 years from now, when she sees these videos, I want my child to be proud of me. I don't want my child to be embarrassed of any type of content that would not be appropriate for me to share. So I am open to the questions, but do know that if I don't answer them, it might be because it does not align with the brand, and it does not align with what I want my child to see in 5, 10, 15 years down the road. So again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Please be sure to share the video. We are growing and growing and growing. We have recently hit 500 subscribers. Woohoo! I am so excited. I could not have done it without you guys. As always, we appreciate you for watching. Until next time.